You don't need to touch, grow, or sell weed to cash in. Discover legal loopholes in 2026, how you too can make money. Imagine banking on cannabis, making a living without even handling a bud. Is it possible in today's legal market? Yes, it is. Sí, se puede. Okay. Now, I don't want to get kicked off this channel here, so I'm not going to show how beautiful these buds can be, but I am going to talk. Got a little cotton mouth there? I think I got enough cotton in my mouth to knit a sweater. Okay, as close up on my mouth as you need to be. Dennis doesn't even get that close. Remember, we're calling these episodic shows Builder's Briefing. Brought to you by the Yo Mama Wealth Series. Thanks for becoming a member at Yo Mama and participating in sales and marketing of hemp products. This episode is exploring the legal avenues like marketing, consulting, and tech in the cannabis space. This episode covers 2026 regulations allowing profits via apps, compliance tools, branding without cultivation risks, with examples of thriving non-plant businesses amid coming THC bans. So, first off, I am not a lawyer and I am not giving any legal advice here. I am a cannabis expert. So we're exploring legal avenues like marketing and consulting. In the last episode, we talked about people doing ancillary businesses, and we said what a couple of them were. Marketing cannabis, getting the word out there, branding like cookies can make you a lot of money. One of the ways you can do that is by forming your own LLC, getting a name, a brand, a trademark that is cool. And I'm going to continue to use cookies as an example. Obviously, the sponsor of this program, Yo Mama, is another example of a company that's just beginning in this field. And you can watch them grow over this coming year as we do these videos for the company to market it and educate you about it. But Cookies is an example of a cannabis company that started small, had a great name, had a strain. There was a strain called Cookies, and now it is an entire brand. And they even have clothing and stuff like that. So there are other ways for marketing and branding. Cali Plug, who I think I mentioned in 2 previous episodes, is someone who I've learned a lot from about doing alternative marketing in cannabis business. And really, depending on what you're selling, to which market segment you're selling to, there are different users in the cannabis space. You have the younger users who are used to going to the dispensaries, and you have somewhat older users like myself who were participating in what we call a traditional market for years. And then you have my mom, who's 85 years old and has been smoking marijuana since the 70s. I don't think she's ever been to a dispensary. The last time I bought weed with my mom off the street weed, was back in the 80s. And my brother's been growing since the 90s. So I don't think my mom's ever had to buy weed again since the 90s. I don't know if I should be calling my mom out like this on our videos, but hopefully she's cool with it. So consulting, a lot of people have an expertise. Like they come from industry, they've worked. For example, I know someone who worked at High Times, was one of the publishers, and he really understands the industry, and he's now gone into consulting and helping people. If you have any kind of expertise, whether it's an expertise in marketing, an expertise in sales, an expertise in tech, you can consult cannabis companies, develop a software, develop a technology for that company, for yourself, and then sell it to those companies that could benefit from the problem you're solving for them. So these are all the different ways that you can make money in cannabis, more specific ways you can make money in cannabis without ever touching the plant. Compliance tools, accounting, legal tools. And so give an example of a thriving non-plant business amid coming THC bans. Okay, let's just talk about the coming THC bans. That was my note. The ban, I think, is more important. What happened after the last government shutdown was that influential people, I believe, in the pharmaceutical industry, and I don't know this for sure. I feel like Candace Owens here. You know when you know. One of the reasons I think that is there was a big push to deschedule marijuana. Not to deschedule, to reschedule from Schedule 1, where it's completely illegal and considered dangerous and harmful, to suddenly Schedule 3, where it's considered medicinal use. And if it's medicinal use, you're going to have to put in a lot of money to be able to grow it. The pharmaceutical companies are going to take it over. And we saw how badly they treated us during COVID. I don't want this to get banned. I always get banned. Anyways, if we can not turn this industry over to the pharmaceutical industry, it would be much better for everyone, for our personal health, for the health of our communities. That's my hope. But I see that as like, oh my God, they're taking over the freaking industry. And then you have all these pundits going, well, we got to ban it. It's not very good. It's leading to psychosis. If you're afraid of getting arrested, of course you're paranoid. You know what I mean? I remember when it was illegal and I got pulled over twice in one night by a station wagon with ski racks. That was my friend Jeff's joke. Listen, guys, I'm going to try and make this as fun as possible. I really appreciate you learning with me. I'm learning how to do this better and better all the time, too. But this is kind of like marijuana college. We consider this an education. How to make money in the marijuana business, how to enter the cannabis industry.